Well, hi class, and welcome to week 6 as we're trying to wind down this business law class. We've only got 2 weeks left, so let's get right into it. This week we really deal on disputes and settlements and how to deal with those sort of things. And in business, these kind of things come up all the time. It could be a lease dispute, or it could be a legal proceedings against your business in form of like some kind of insurance claim or whatever. And it's just a good idea to understand the different methods that can be used to handle those situations. This week you're going to read chapter 2. I have a link in there. There's also some other things to read. Mediation. And conflict. Then there's a good video to watch, and then we have a couple assignments. So we'll get into that right now. It's going to be kind of a short video this week. So key things that you're going to understand this week are negotiation, mediation, and arbitration. So think of negotiation as you're sitting down at the table with the parties of interest, and you're negotiating out a conflict resolution. Like I said before, this could be like a lease agreement that you're trying to negotiate an extension for that, and you sit down with whoever owns that property or manages the lease and try to handle that situation. Now, think about negotiation in two different ways. There's just person-to-person negotiation, and then there's when you had the lawyers, right? So, cha-ching, that's going to cost you, but it might be worth it, and it might save you money down the road. So, especially if you don't understand it fully, get a lawyer involved. So, mediation is when you have hired someone to mediate for you, and that doesn't mean that you're stuck in whatever that resolution is, like whatever they decide. That's something altogether different. Mediation is when you have someone that helps you work through the issues, right? And then arbitration is kind of you're stuck. So when you go to an arbitrator, and there are ways to do that, but if you go to an arbitrator and you present your side and the other group presents their side, whatever the arbitrator decides, that is what is going to be the final decision. This happens, like one thing I'm really familiar with, this happens in baseball a lot. Like, for example, at the beginning of the season, some of the players might go into arbitration to try to get a better contract. And whatever the arbitrator decides, that's what the contract is going to be. So clubs don't like to go into arbitration. Players really don't either. They'd rather negotiate it out. I think that's really the best case if you can negotiate it or mediate it. When all else fails, then you go to arbitration. All right, so you can read chapter 2. There's a link there. You can read about mediation, conflict resolution, and the process for that. I'll click on that real quick here for you. There's a PDF here that kind of walks you through that conflict resolution process. This will be useful when you're doing your assignment for this week to understand that process and how you're going to deal with handling your resolution for the assignment. So I watched this and I was pretty impressed by this video. So this woman here is she's a hostage negotiator, and she deals with conflict resolution all the time. And she's got a personal story to tell as well. So I want you to pay attention to that and just think about how much that influenced her to get to where she's at in life. The biggest thing with conflict resolution, to really understand it, and she talks more about conflict resolution between family members and spouses and in-laws and stuff like that, but is to have some curiosity on what's going on with the other person. I think it's so easy to espouse all of our thoughts and ideas onto how it should be resolved without actually listening to someone else. So having curiosity for that person and being a professional listener will help you in conflict resolution. So moving on, there is a quiz, and then I'm going to go over the assignment with you real quick because I think it's pretty important. So there's no discussion in the next 2 weeks. So it's just an assignment here. You're going to review the differences between negotiation, mediation, arbitration, and you're going to submit your assignment. You can do it in written paper, an infographic, You can do a video role play, which would be really interesting if you have someone that you can partner with that, a script, or a PowerPoint presentation, however you want to do it. I'll even throw in there, if you want to throw in just a video explanation, you can do that as well. I'll add that when I finalize this. So there's a scenario, all right? And you have opened up a juice bar and a cafe in a great location downtown. So make this in your actual hometown. If you live in Milwaukee, make it for Milwaukee. If you live in Des Moines, make it for Des Moines. If you live in the Dells, make it for the Dells. Your building is in great condition, and you have not had any problems with your lease or your building owner. So you're doing well. Profits are great the first year, and you're pretty excited about where your business is going. So a new tenant signs a lease for the space next door to you in the same building with the same owner. Since they've opened their business, your profits have dropped. You are also certain it is due to your new neighbors, since they have opened a dispensary and smoke shop, which is leading to an odor in your cafe. You approach the owner of the new shop and introduce yourself, but it really doesn't work, right? They were pleasant, but there's no conversation about it. So you got to figure out what you're going to do. What method will you choose to handle this situation? Negotiation, mediation, or arbitration? What process will you follow? Identify one state or local law that will help you with your case. So there are often, many times, local laws, and you can just Google this and do a little research for your location that provides some kind of remedy for the situation. Provide a link to that law. Tell me how you're going to go about getting this situation fixed. Okay, this assignment is worth 20 points and will be due on the Monday following this week. Just want to also announce that for the last week, there is just one assignment to do in the last week. I will be explaining that in a very short video, and I will open up that week 7 probably by midweek. So hang in there. Email me if I haven't put it up there and you're ready for it. I want you to have plenty enough time to get ready for that final assignment. It's just applying everything you've learned over the course of the semester into your final assessment. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Hang in there. This is almost over. You guys are all doing very good. And if you're having any questions, as always, don't hesitate to reach out to me. We've got some great resources to help you. Have a great week.